right, excellent afternoon, viewers. The world observed yet another Press Freedom Day yesterday, May 3rd, 2021 to be precise. But just this year alone, in the first quarter, there has been 348 documented cases of violence against women in journalism. I'm not trying to be biased right now when it comes to women, but this makes the question linger. Is the press truly free? We will definitely explore this later on our trending topic segment. Welcome to yet another exciting, educative, entertaining, thought-provoking show on television. This is Real Talk with Kike, the show where conversations are real. I remain Kike Lomatondao. That doesn't change. And of course, I'm with my exciting, opinionated co-host that they've been driving me crazy all along. Marshall in the building and the chief wife. She took my position. Hi, how you doing today?
Oh
Marshall, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
I am good since I've become the chief wife now.
People watching won't understand where
they won't.
Everything is coming from. Just before the show, Kike was on about how Efo is the chief wife. And well, I want to say welcome to our viewers who are watching us from home. This is Real Talk with Kike, the place where conversations are real. Talking about real conversations, Kike, you really got some real conversations over the week. Real ones. Well, I think we should keep that in the cover now.
Yes.
That's aside.
Welcome, guys.
Welcome, viewers. It's good to be here again. And just stay glued and get ready for Real Talk today, especially with the kind of guests that we have coming.
All right, today is a loaded show. We will be celebrating 20 years of the existence of Wimbies, and we'll get to know their past achievements as well as the future plans. Wimbies represents women in management, business and public service. We will also take a look at the unemployment, inflation and business trends in Nigeria, and our trending topics segment will not be left out. But first, let's take a quick look on this day in history. We'll be right back.
On this day in history, Tuesday, 4th of May 2002, exactly 19 years ago, a Nigerian BAC 1-11-500 aircraft crashes into the town of Kano and explodes in a densely populated section, killing 148 people. Prior to the fatal crash, the aircraft involved in the incident had been grounded for 2 previous occasions, one in 2001 for 11 days to perform engine maintenance, and again in 2002 for 52 days to address engine problems. Flight 4226 is the deadliest aviation accident involving a BAC 111. Subsequent investigation conducted by Nigerian authorities concluded that the crash was caused by pilot error.
All right, welcome back. On this day in history, you all know that it's segments that we always look forward to. But Masha, before I ask for your submission, let me come to our chief wife. Efo, what's your submission on this day in history today?
Kike, on this day in history, we're talking about the crash that happened in unfortunate incident in Kano. Time was when we used to have aircrafts drop off the skies, when it was real rampant at the time. And when they're saying that this particular incident, was due to pilot error. Of course, pilots are human beings, It's not an excuse, to get into something as deadly as killing those on the ground, But I think it was just something that wasn't premeditated. It wasn't. It was an accident that happened.
Accident, that's what it is.
So, Marshall.
Well, we say that, like you said, gone were the days when we had these birds, metal birds coming down the sky. I think the airspace is a lot more saner. And we thank God we're seeing more airports coming up, we're seeing more airlines coming up, and I think they are stronger more than ever. And we don't hope to see a reoccurrence of what has been in the past.
Never again.
All right. Many thanks, Marshall, for that. Because of time, I think it's it's best for us to quickly go into, let's get a message from our sponsors, because we have two beautiful guests that I'm so excited to have them on the platform today. Please listen to our message from our sponsor. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's a non-profit organization founded in 2001 that is constantly dedicated to creating programs that inspire and empower women. I'm talking about WIMBIZ in management, business, and public service. Join me to welcome the amazing woman, Chinwe Egwim. I hope I pronounced that well. Oh, thank you. And of course, Producer Gbadamosi. They are both Executive Council of WIMBIZ. I'm so excited to have you both on the show today. And of course, many thanks for honoring our invitation.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So I think the first question to you is that about 20 years ago, you know, 12 outstanding women and one man birthed the vision of WIMBIZ. So I'm directing this question to you first, Chinwe. What are the visions? Are you, you know, in terms of what are the achievements thus far towards this vision that you guys have created in the last 20 years?
That they created.
That they created. You're part of it.
Yes,
now,
we're part of it now, and we're so grateful to the people that came before us. The impact has been, I would say, immeasurable. The goal has really been to inspire, empower, to advocate, equip women, and basically most of the programs that we've been able to put out over the past years are really designed to help close the gender gap. So they're actually very much solution driven. So yeah, I would say that, yeah, the impact has been a whole lot.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. You're welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
It's good to have you on our show. And first, I want to say hearty congratulations.
Thank you so much.
WIMBIZ coming all the way 20 years.
Yes.
That's no child's play.
Of course, 2
So
decades.
congratulations. And I must say kudos for creating a platform, you know, such as this for professional women in business.
Yeah.
So I want to say you have come, well, I join you. We've come 20 years. So
Yeah.
what's up for the next 20 years?
Oh wow, a whole lot. I'm going to let Felicia.
So there's a lot, obviously, in store for the next 20 years. First of all, thank you so much for having us once again. WIMBIZ has achieved a lot, and every single thing that we have achieved, like Chinwe said, is to empower, inspire women, to get women to attain the highest positions of leadership, not just in business, but even in career and even in public service. And so for the next 20 years, our plans are to continue to do that in as many ways as possible. All of us know that because of the pandemic, everything has changed. You know, the way that we deliver programs have changed. Even the kind of programs that we run have changed. So now we actually have access to more people. I think one of the blessings for us of that pandemic was the fact that we were able to reach more people beyond even the borders of Nigeria, right? So we're able to reach, you know, Nigerians in diaspora, Nigerians in different parts of Africa. And so for us, the next 20 years is bringing a whole lot of more of our commitments, you know, to inspire, connect, empower women, but to do it in as many ways as possible. So that's what we're looking forward to, is doing more of that.
Okay, thank you. But I'd like to say, can you just break it down so that the viewers, you know, can understand exactly where you're going?
In empirical
with
terms.
this?
In empirical terms. Okay, so I don't know that we actually have numbers as far as our plans to reach, as far as like actual numbers.
Yes,
Chinwe.
that's going forward.
Chinwe is the numbers lady here. So I don't think that we've actually set a target yet. It's something that we're working on and that we've been discussing. But one thing I know for sure is that our plan is as many programs and as many delivery methods as we can have to reach as many Nigerian women, to get them to that point. So let me give a bit of context. So many programs that we've run over the years, they're not programs that just empower you, Kike, or just empower you to just be good at what you do. It also helps you help other women. So it's like a catalyst, right? So we expect women that go through WIMBIZ or are part of WIMBIZ, you know, our associates, or even go through our programs, attend our events, to leave there feeling like, you know what, I can make change in my community. So you will see that many of the WIMBIZ associates, it's not just about their personal success, no. It's about the success of their community, the nation, and all that. A lot of the women there are, a lot of us women there are nation builders and transformers. So what we intend to do is continue to find more and more ways to get that done. The reason why I think that we're still working on the numbers is also because obviously it's our 20th year, we're reflecting, but we're also looking towards the future. And we're also, let me say, reorienting, we're rejigging ourselves, because when the pandemic came, it kind of just made everything different. So we're also looking at ways that, you know, we can kind of remodel the things that we've been doing. And so that's, that's what we've got planned.
I'll just re-echo Effo's question in a different way. Now, when you say WIMBYs, it'll naturally sit down well with a Kike, an Effo, a Marshall. People will just, can associate or relate with WIMBYs. But you cannot also take away the fact that there might be some people who are watching right now and thinking, oh, WIMBYs is just an organization that is consisting of some set of people without necessarily knowing the nitty-gritty of what it's all about. So when I said in empirical terms, let's take it back and say, what is WIMBYs all about? Let's break it down that way.
Okay.
So that means you actually want us to discuss like specific programs.
Yes.
Okay.
What
Okay,
you do. So women out there can, some women who've never heard of WIMBYs before.
Okay.
Well, okay. So I could stay if you and then
Yeah.
you could take over. So we have the mentorship program, which is a big deal where we empower young girls. Well, not just young girls.
So there
I
are
think
different mentorship
there
programs.
are different
Yeah, there's two
mentorship
different
programs. Yeah, but I'm very focused on the
On the one for the girls.
youngins. Yeah, for young girls. It's over a period of time. They're paired with a mentor. These are mentees paired with a mentor. And the results or the solution that we find from this program is that they're able to progress in their respective careers, right?
Yeah.
I've been a mentor so many times, and I would tell you for free that I do check in on my mentees even after the program. So I
nice.
actually do see the impact of that program on the individuals that have gone or come under me, right? And then we have, of course, our annual conference, which is the flagship. Yeah, everybody knows about that. And through that conference, we're able to inspire women that come. We get like attendees or delegates over thousands attend that. And yeah, that's one that has really given us a lot of, or allowed us to make a lot of impact. And then we have the WIMBYs cap.
WIMCAP.
Yes, which is geared towards SME owners, business owners. It helps with access to finance. It helps with equipping them with necessary skills required to run businesses, and by extension, help with generating jobs. So I'll stop there.
Okay. All right. Let me.
I'm sorry, I have to interject. Who are those who qualify to be those delegates that you're talking about?
Delegates for which one? For the conference
For
or
the conference.
anybody?
Like we put it out there
Any
to
woman.
the public. Yeah,
Like
you
you
can
said,
register.
we're talking to the public.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Anyone.
saying.
Anybody, really,
Anyone can
anybody.
register, yeah.
Anybody can register. It happens usually in November.
This year, November 4th and 5th, I
yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
It's a 2-day conference, and it usually takes place at Eco Hotel. But this
Yeah.
year, it's going to be hybrid. So there'll be a
Yeah.
virtual part and there'll be the physical part. And it's open to everyone. I mean, the very first WIMBYs conference that I attended, I barely knew about the organization. I just heard about the conference, and I said,
Yeah.
oh, let me attend. And I was, I was blown away. I was actually wow. That's the word. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't believe how much energy and, just all that was in that room. So it's open to every and
Everybody.
anybody. And all the information is actually available on our website, wimbys.org, on our social media platforms.
It's
and all
open
that.
to men as well.
Yes.
Just FYI.
I actually thought it was. I
I was
actually
going
thought you were
to get into that. I was going to
to
get into that. But I wanted to establish the background of
Team
WIMBYs.
out.
It's not possible.
All right,
It's not
so
possible.
we can talk a lot about the achievements, made thus far. I've been privileged to be with members of the WIMBY stakeholders, and I want to know what are the challenges along the line, and how we have been able, or how your organization have been able to handle those challenges.
Okay. All right. Before stepping into that, I wanted to just quickly add something to what Chinwe said about the program. So beyond what she said, we also have a Women in Politics platform, which is focused on women that are in political service. So if there's anybody out there who wants to get into public service or is interested, that's a good platform that also has mentorship. So outside of the programs to empower the women, it also has a mentorship program. We also have a Women on Boards, and that came about as a result of the challenge of not having enough women on Nigerian boards in that space. And so Women on Boards became a solution to that problem. And now we've trained over 1,000 women who are board ready, eligible. In fact, WIMBYs often get WIMBYs often gets requests from different companies that are looking for women. So if there's anybody out there who is looking for women to be on your board, please, WIMBYs has an amazing database of that. Now, to the question about challenges, I've said some of them. So the challenges that we have, I think, as women, in the society, a lot of the gender gap challenges that we try to fix, they're not very easy to fix. But I think that what we do is that, we find the most creative ways, let me just put it that way, to fix them. So I'm going to use women on boards as an example.
Yeah.
Women on boards started, I think it was maybe like 5-6 years or so ago. And the acceptance has been amazing. It's a real solution to a real problem because a lot of women do not or did not feel like they had the expertise. Even when we do have a bit of expertise, it's a bit different for men and women. They say that men are more confident in applying for jobs than women.
Yes.
That a man would apply for a job that he's not qualified for, but a woman would kind of shy away from that. So that program has really, he's laughing. That program has really, really helped with empowering, and not just empowering, as in actual training courses that really help women to be board ready. And so a lot of the challenges that are faced by women in Nigeria they are vast, but let me just say that we keep looking for different ways to solve them. The same thing with women in politics. In fact, that's what birthed WIMPO, because we found that there were not enough platforms for women who wanted to go into public service. There's a lot of platforms for career, and business, but public service especially. And so that's what birthed WIMPO, and also birthed the mentorship. So they actually, we actually pair women who want to go into public service with mentors that are already in public service so that they can learn and all that good stuff.
All right, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll still be with our friends from WIMBIZ. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, glad to know you're still with us. Our friends from WIMBIZ have been sharing with us the giant strides of the association in the past 20 years, and we've also been talking about unemployment and inflation. We'll be talking about unemployment and inflation in Nigeria, but don't forget that you can be part of this conversation by calling studio line 080-988-77400. And of course, you can also join us on our social media platform. We're streaming live on our YouTube page, Real Talk with Kike, and of course on our Facebook page, Real Talk with Kike. So before I come at the Economist, let me reserve my energy. Let me give you the floor. Marshall, what do you have to say when it comes to inflation and the likes and all of that?
Well, for me, inflation, so many things have been on the news recently, with Godwin Obaseki recently giving his submission on what I'd call the grub from the federal government to the states. And that has an innocent submission he was making, but that has generated several controversies. And we've seen how the Ghanaians are now telling us how the 500 naira is equivalent to 5 CDs. I saw a video of a guy who was making an analogy, and I thought to myself, how far gone under have we, descended? So that brings to mind, you're an organization doing something to empower women to financially, mentorship-wise, and then the coronavirus pandemic hit last year, which affected everybody's broad spectrum of businesses. How has that affected business, the impact you have for women or with women, and how has it affected the organization in totality?
Well, okay, so the pandemic really did result in an economic downturn, as you've explained. And I would not say that we are focused just on women with regards to this economic downturn. It's everyone, right? Everyone felt the pinch. Inflationary pressure has been insane. The transmission effect into markets is very visible. I would tell you that the price of a basket of tomatoes has tripled. I believe about 2 years ago, you could get it for 5,000 naira. I'm sure now, if you go into the market, it's as high as 15,000 naira. So the the transmission effect is very visible. And you have purchasing power getting weaker. So prices are going up and pockets are not expanding.
Exactly.
Okay, and this is not gender specific. It's affecting everyone. So with regards to businesses as a whole, what are we doing as an organization? That's WIMBIZ.
Yes. What are you doing to mitigate that?
Well, that's why Felicia said earlier that we are actually, taking a step back and trying to redesign our programs on the back of these issues. And I would say that it's not just access to finance, because you'd see that organizations or authorities like the CBN, the Bank of Industry, they've also tried to accelerate their pace with regards to access to finance. But of course, given the population size, the impact remains minimal. And so we have organizations like ours that would have to step in to help close this gap. Apart from access to finance, you also have skills acquisition.
Yeah.
That's necessary, and we are doing that. Again, we have to think of ways to redesign these programs to help empower women with the necessary skills, you know, to help scale their businesses, and also for those who are job seekers that need to boost their employability. Yeah, we're also looking into programs or looking for ways to redesign our existing programs that would help with regards to solving this throbbing issue.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well answered.
Going back to the pandemic, maybe I should be asking inflation. Going back to the pandemic, can we safely say that there was probably, and there still is, an increase in entrepreneurial activities
Definitely.
amongst your members?
Oh,
saying that they're
certainly.
professionals.
Oh yes, I think so. I think that's something that WIMBIZ did really well during the pandemic. Was we ran a lot of online programs to upskill women.
Okay.
So we realized that a lot of women have digital literacy, as an example, as a gap, and we did have quite a few programs to just help people learn different tools and skills that they would need to get their businesses online. In fact, I think it was either Paystack or Flutterwave, I can't remember which one. Specifically did a program with us because they have like a whole online storefront that's very easy to use, and trained women on how to do that, because we also realize that a lot of women have businesses, but their businesses are in a location, and you need to literally be, right now it is you to the world, like everything has changed, how to use social media to sell, how to use your website to sell. So we did quite a few of those. And I mean, we would keep doing that. I think that the pandemic definitely opened up a lot of doors for entrepreneurs. During the lockdown, food service businesses went up.
Yeah.
Because everybody, I'm sure we all did. I know I did. And it shows, with my clothes that don't fit anymore, but let's just leave that aside, but we were constantly, ordering food and logistics businesses. I saw a lot of women start logistic businesses as well because they realized that delivery services were big. So yeah, definitely that went up.
So in full terms, we'll say the pandemic was a blessing.
I think mixed.
To an extent.
Yes,
Mixed,
to an
I
extent.
agree,
I
to an
think yes,
extent.
to an extent. Oh, definitely, to an extent, yes.
Okay.
It definitely pushed. I mean, it pushed all of us into the new world.
Yeah.
all of us, everybody.
Yeah, it really encouraged innovative thinking, and even for career-inclined women like us, diversifying your revenue flow as well is something the pandemic has done. So as opposed to just waiting on your monthly, there are other ways that are within the policies of your firm,
organization,
that you can make money. And of course, it's the digital landscape that's allowing that to happen.
All right, well done as well, what you guys have been doing thus far in the last 20 years. But I will not be wrapping up this segment if I do not ask this question, especially when it comes to in terms of your goals and your achievements thus far with WIMBIZ clocking 20 years. So do you get government support, or all you do are just the membership, financing, and the philanthropy organization, so to speak? So if no, how much do you need the government to support your cause?
Okay, I'm going to jump in quickly and then I'll let Chinwe kind of round it up. Without advocacy and without government support, I don't think that any organization on our scale would be making much of an impact, because you need to have government support. I don't think that there's any development organization that doesn't need government support, and obviously that's what we are. We do, liaise with the government a lot. Women affairs, even sometimes we just go directly to, the heads of different, I'm trying to think of
Departments.
Of the departments, yes.
MDAs,
Yes, MD, I mean, we have partnerships with different government agencies. Even on our executive council, we have people that are in government.
But how far have they been supportive on this cause?
On which cause specifically?
When it comes to WIMBIZ,
just I think that the government has actually been quite supportive. I think that with the government, that when you let me look for a way to phrase this. When you have you have to be clear as to what you're trying to achieve. Let me just put it like that. You have to be extremely crystal clear, and not just with government, even with the private sector. Even when we advocate with boards or companies or people that are making waves in the career space, you have to be very clear when you go and present what exactly it is that you're trying to achieve. And so with the government, the few times that we've gone, they've been very open and welcoming to us. And sometimes, not all the time, sometimes we actually do see the effects. We still spoke about how we had visited Honorable Gbajabiamila a few years ago, and we saw the effects of that visit in an article that came out this week, and some changes that are being made as far as women and the number of women that should be in office and all that. it's something that just keeps, that we just keep working on. And as many organizations as can do that as well, advocacy, then we actually achieve more by, just the numbers.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's collaborative efforts, and they're part of our stakeholder engagement. Apart from the government, there are also multilateral agencies. I know that we have a partnership with the UN Women organization. So, yeah, like, we are receiving support. Is there room for improvement? Every time, always. There's always room for improvement.
Can never be enough.
All right, so I'm being told that you open our phone lines again. The number to call is 080-988-77400. You can be part of this conversation, and of course, we are looking at the rate of unemployment and also inflation affecting businesses in Nigeria. And of course, we've brought two intellectuals on the platform today to talk about all of this. But talking about the unemployment now, especially when it comes to the rates in Nigeria, I'm directing this question to you, Chinwe. It has become alarming, and the last figure I saw was, I think, showing that over 20 million youths are unemployed, which is roughly 1/10 of our 1/10 of our population thus far. So, what is WIMBIZ, doing to help the unemployment figures, especially when it comes to the female youths today?
Well, do you know what? Let me talk about figures a bit. So the latest stats, 33.3% for the final quarter of last year, right? And with regards to youth, we make up, I don't say we make up at least 65% of the population. So there's no surprise there that in terms of, there's no surprise there. Now, what's WIMBIZ doing? Again, I would revert to what we said earlier. We run programs that would help. Because another problem we have with this unemployment is not just that there are no jobs. Sometimes there are jobs and people cannot fill these positions. So let's be clear about that. So employability is a huge problem. And I feel like it might even get worse as we're, taking our tiny steps towards this digital landscape. So what are we doing? We're equipping women through our programs. Again, remember I said we're also leaning back to redesign programs given our new realities. And that's not just for WIMBIZ. Different organizations are actually trying to restructure with regards to how to deliver programs that would help solve these critical issues.
All right, many thanks for that submission. We have a caller from Edo State. His name is Stanley. Stanley, many thanks for joining on the show today, or many thanks for calling us.
We lost
we lost that. All right. Efo.
Okay, so talking about the unemployment on the streets, you will see ordinarily we have too many people pursuing too few jobs. Okay, like you said, it's not that the jobs are not there. But let's be realistic, because this is real talk. Where are the jobs? Where are they? We have so many civil servants who are just idle. In the ministries, doing absolutely nothing. I have been there before, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm speaking from experience. The ones who should fill such positions are not there because they are not connected to the powers that be.
So the question is, where are the jobs?
So,
all right, before you answer that, we have a caller from Edo State. His name is David. Yeah, many thanks, David. Please go ahead with your question or comments. David,
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, David. We can hear you.
Yeah, I was watching your program and I think it's a beautiful one. Yeah, I heard the lady that said there's job and...
David, please go ahead.
I'm trying to say that the lady that said that there's a job and then people are not filling the state.
Okay.
Yeah, but right here in Benin, I have two sisters that are graduates. There's no job. And the two of them, they are doing security jobs right here in Benin, which is not supposed to be. So I don't know where those opportunities are. There are no jobs. Youth are not having jobs. There are no jobs anywhere. Even if you have one, it is not paying very well. It is stressful and, so I don't know how to connect to what you guys are saying.
All right, many thanks, David, for calling us on the...
And that's literally what you just asked right now.
I can actually slide in. Let me save Chinwe from that. So I'm ED at Junior Achievement in Nigeria, and the whole purpose is to empower youth to own their financial future. Because we know that there will never be enough jobs for people. And so what we do is, so our focus is on the Nigerian youth, and we train them from primary school age up until like NYSC and even after, on different things that they can do to own their own financial future. So we are very big on entrepreneurship as an example, because we realize that it is imperative that our youth get into entrepreneurship. In fact, a lot of our alumni own their own businesses. A lot of them are running different organizations. And that's something that we're very big on, because this unemployment problem, I think, like Chinwe said, you know, it's twofold. It's whether people have the skills for the very few jobs that are even available, and then, you know, do we even have enough for all the people that are on the streets? And so I think entrepreneurship is something that we really need to be pushing from when children are young age, you know, teaching them problem-solving skills, teaching them leadership skills, teaching them skills that help them figure out how to solve problems within their community, can actually lead to them owning their own businesses and all that, so that we stop relying on just the few corporate jobs or the few government jobs that do exist.
Yeah, I agree with that submission. You know, Chinwe, I'm coming back to you again, you know, as an economist, you know. Please explain to us in terms of, in the last quarter, especially end of March, last month, the federal government said that we are out of recession, whereas our inflation figures are really high. Are those figures real? And what exactly, how would I put it now, do they translate to the challenges we are facing now? But before you answer that, we have Blessings from Abuja calling us. Blessing, many thanks for calling today. Hello, Blessing. Can you hear us?
Yes.
All right, please go ahead. Oh, gosh.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Please go ahead and turn down the volume of your TV.
I can hear you.
All right.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Please, what's your contribution on the topic at hand right now?
Hello,
All right,
Blessing.
apologies. Chinwe, yeah.
Okay, so let me explain that a recession really, technically, is when you have contractions for two subsequent contractions following each other. So Q2 and Q3, we saw contractions, and that's what led to the term recession. Okay. Now, in the final quarter of last year, we had the GDP figure at 0.11%. So that was us emerging or leaving that technical term recession. 0.1%, is that a great figure? No, it's not a great figure. So it's GDP growth, but recovery is still fragile. So I guess that's the short, or in a nutshell, answer to your question. The figures are not fake. It's just like in terms of the technical terms we use, yes, we are actually out of a recession, but growth is fragile.
Many thanks.
Okay, so I get it out of reflection, and it has reflected in the figures, but it hasn't changed the cost of fish in the market. It hasn't changed, it hasn't brought food to the man on the street.
So that's you shifting to inflation. That's you shifting to another indicator.
To the effect of inflation proper.
Yes.
And you know, it's funny that we have a federal government or a government that seems to defend its every move and its every act and tries to paint the color beautiful. I'd like for you to really tell us, when you place the economy of Nigeria side by side, don't go too far to Western climes, just African countries, our neighboring African countries, what do they seem to be doing right that we aren't doing?
That's a tricky question.
Because you can see them moving, we are miles apart.
Yeah, but there's so many factors to consider when we're doing this peer country comparison. If we use our neighbors, I believe the population of that country alone is the population of Lagos. So I'm not trying to sound as if I'm embracing government fully, but I think sometimes we should have some level of, you know, cutting them some slack. That's my personal opinion, right? Now, with regards to what are other countries doing, and please bear in mind I just spoke about population size for different countries. Policy implementation. I believe speed of policy implementation, effective policy implementation. We could accelerate our speed here. You know, we have a lot of structural deficit. That's really what's a major factor for some of the things that we're seeing, structural deficits. So
apologies, I might have to interrupt your line of thought right now. We have Yvonne from Benin. Benin fans are really calling in today. Yes, please go ahead with your queries, comments, questions. We have two beautiful, intelligent ladies in the building. So please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Please, is it possible for people interested in your WinBiz platform outside Lagos to join the platform?
Of course, most certainly. You can go to our website right now.
wimbiz.org, WIMBIZ.org, where you can just Google us and you see all of our different platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you can contact us through any of them, and we'll let you know how to join.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
sorry. Do you have an outreach or I don't want to use the word branch in Edo State for people who don't just want to join but want to be active?
Okay.
Well, you can be active from anywhere.
But you have physical contact here.
You can be active from. Do we have a physical setup in Benin?
Yeah.
No, not right now.
Not physical.
Not right now, but you can be active from anywhere. I can tell you that the International Women's Day celebration that we just concluded, I had people from different areas of Nigeria be part of the committee that I chaired. So you can be active from anywhere.
Okay.
All right, many thanks for calling. Chinwe, you know, right now, the common man or the average Nigerian buys a bucket of custard of maybe Gary for 1,200 naira. And he also buys same quantity of rice for 2,400 naira. Now, for the cost of this program, because I knew I was coming and I'm coming to meet an economist, so I had to send my driver yesterday. He went to buy water for 750 per 5 bags. So now he buys the rika of rice or beans, or I think beans for 450 according to him now, because I was asking him a series of questions. So this is real life inflation in cost of consumption. So my question is, how does the common Nigerian survive on the minimum wage? How much am I paying my driver today? How can he survive on that monthly salary?
Yeah, it's tough. I'm not going to lie, it's tough. As I said earlier, that prices of goods are going up and then pockets are not expanding simultaneously. So it is tough, and that's something that I would hope that the authorities would look into with regards to, you know, increasing. They did do an increase recently. They did do an increase recently from 18,000, if I remember correctly, to, I'm not sure if it was 22 or 25,000, but yes, when we...
No, they said 30.
Okay, 30.
And so many of them have not even started paying
It. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, well, so again, that's slow transmission effects again. So we're going back to that. But yeah, to answer your question, it's tough. And as I said, even with corporates like us, like people are thinking of how to diversify their revenue flow to be able to meet up with existing demands that they have.
All right, we have a caller, Monday from Benin. Monday, Benin people are ready for us. Sometimes just in Lagos. Monday, many thanks for calling on the show today.
Turn down the volume of your TV, Monday.
Hello, Monday. It's not connected.
All right, guys. Many thanks, many thanks, many thanks. I think this is where we have to round up, because we have another segment that we'll be going to. But it affects us all because you guys are not going, you know. But I will say that thank you so much for creating time, you know, for being with us today, especially lunchtime. It's been, I feel blessed, you know, to have you guys. It's another thing for you to be admiring somebody from afar, but to have both of you. You know, I've been on the same, I think I've been on different platforms where Chinwe have come there to come and speak, and I'm always looking like this. So, but today, she's sitting closely with me. Of course, many thanks. I'm so blessed to have you guys. There's some research that I do that many times I just say, okay, Chinwe says something like this. And sometimes I even go and I try as much as possible, sometimes to even copy her posture and say, so what and I do like this. So before people will say that I'm a lesbian, please, I'm just admiring the beautiful one, because I don't want us to come out of the show. All right, guys, because of time, let's just move on to the trending story. So, and this story is something that affects us all, especially as Nigerians. So there's the story of Ini Umoren, a fresh graduate who lives in Uyo, posted on Twitter on April 29th that she needed a job, and sadly she was raped and killed by a suspected kidnapper who posted as a potential employer. So our friend raised the alarm on Twitter, and a lot of people have jumped at it. There are different reactions to this, but it's so sad when it comes to how another young girl is trying to, you know, find a niche, basically. But Chinwe, I'm sure you saw this. What's your submission on this?
Heartbreaking, because at the end of the day, we were just discussing unemployment and, you know, job seekers trying to get jobs so that they can contribute significantly to to the economy. So it's really heartbreaking. I like what I've been seeing online with regards to different platforms. I would say 95 Chick, I think I saw that recently, put out ways in which you can protect yourself even though you are looking for a job. We need to be extra vigilant as women when we're putting ourselves out there. Any employer that's asking you to come and meet them in a shady place, I think there's standards there, and we need to educate ourselves on what these standards are with regards to job seeking. It's a horrific thing. I don't like to talk about these type of things because I get emotional about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's
Felicia, sorry.
Horrible.
I know.
You were talking
what's your
about
take?
standards.
Yeah, there are
So
standards.
please, what should they be looking out for?
First of all, there's job ads. I also encourage people to use LinkedIn. The platform called LinkedIn.
And emails. Some organization will tell you to send an email. They might not tell you to come to the location.
Yes, and also some emails, a lot of scam artists are doing things via emails. So yeah, exactly. So I'm a bit skeptical with emails as well.
So let me just quickly add, I mean, it's completely heartbreaking. It's horrible. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's horrible. And I have 2 daughters. I have so many women around me. Like, it's just horrible. But I want to say that one thing that we really promote nowadays is safety online. And to start teaching children and teenagers and even us as adults safety online. A lot of us go online and we feel like it's like here, this room. The people online, a lot of times they are faceless. You have no clue who those people are. So I think that all of us here, with our circles of influence and those that are listening, be very, very, very conscious about online safety. Your children, your young adults, your teenagers. There are so many places online that you can go to. Facebook has a program that we run at Junior Achievement called Facebook Safe Online. That's all we teach all over Nigeria in all the states, because we realize that predators are so evil and a lot of us are so comfortable online, especially children, because you just feel like, oh, I met this person online, I was playing a game, or I was on Twitter and somebody offered me something. A lot of those people are not who they say that they are. So I just want us to be very conscious about online safety in these days that we're living in.
Fantastic. What a way to go.
All right. So do you have anything to say before we go?
Well, I was just thinking about the audacity.
Oh.
You ask somebody, to come over for a job. You not only rape her, on top of the rape, you
You're a
kill
murderer.
her. After killing, you bury. What audacity! How did
It's
we
beastly.
get here?
It's beastly.
How did we get here?
All right, moving on. Many thanks for your submission. I think another trending story that caught our attention is that of Bill and Melinda Gates announced divorce after 27 years of marriage. Folusho, I am coming to you. What's your submission on this? When it comes to institution of marriage.
Okay, so marriage or Bill and Melinda Gates? What's your question? Let's be clear.
Take it together.
Bill and Melinda Gates are not the definition of marriage, in my own opinion. Everybody is upset. So I get the people being upset. But I'm probably maybe one of 10 people that has a different view. Chinwe and I were talking about it. I'm not upset because they are human beings.
Yes.
Human beings divorce. The only thing that was a plot twist today for me, I don't know if you have seen the plot twist, is that he had negotiated with her before they got married that he would have a summer with one of his ex-girlfriends every year. Yeah. So when I read that, I said,
thought I had this investigative journalism in you.
My sister, let me tell you something. Before they married, he was dating a lady who is also very prominent in Silicon Valley. She's not a small girl. She's also a tech giant. And he was dating her. They broke up. He wanted to marry Melinda. And he told her that, listen, I want to spend a weekend every summer with this lady. Are you okay with it? Melinda said she was okay with it. So apparently that has been a part of their marriage. I'm not saying that's the reason. No. I'm just saying that when I look at marriage, they're not the definition of marriage.
No, they're not.
Yes, they're not the marriage idol.
And you know what? It goes back to the safety online. Sorry to digress. I feel like nowadays we think that because we see people that are successful online, they are like us. They have our values. I don't know you from anywhere. You built a great company. I clap for you. But that doesn't mean that we're the same or we have the same values. So I don't really feel like, they're my definition of a standard of marriage.
Well,
all right, so no, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, people have been saying 27 years, isn't that enough for you guys to have grown fonder and bond, stronger, bonded stronger? I really like the way they put it, that they are no longer growing together. At some certain time, you realize that you're no longer growing either in love or in work, and you decide to part, and they'll still be working together. They came to that realization. Let's just give it to them and let the Lulabalu just.
Kike's face is like whatever.
let me quickly say this for those listening to us right now. And I think it's better for me to be looking at the camera because it is what it is. Yes, what is marriage, and that is life. Like Felicia said earlier, that they are humans, whether they chose to tell us the world, the reason for their split or not. Like I'm getting information right and here with my investigative journalism that they've had some clauses while they were even jumping into the marriage. So which states the foundation of the marriage. So some may come up with controversy theory of the wife making maybe 146 billion from the split, just as the case of Jeff, whose former wife made $36 billion, from their split. So some can come up also with the vaccine. You've seen all sorts of theories online and say the vaccine and the COVID-19 conspiracy theory and many other sorts and the like. So I think that it's still too fresh for the world to know the reason of their split, as they have stated that they want to enjoy their privacy. However, there is no single manual to marriage. And right now, the world just wants to respect their decision and let's watch how the events unfold. But my final submission to this is that whether you're wealthy, whether you're poor, problems that we all face is still the same. And the rich also cry. And that's not the fact that I've had failed marriage as well, but I still respect that institution called marriage. Is this something I still wish I'm going to dive into? We all know what's happening. Anyway, with that, we've come to the end of another edition of Real Talk. And of course, my co-host and our guest, Felicia Gbadamosi and Chinwe Egwim. In fact, I had to Google it because I always know other people's name. It's been a delight to have you both on the show today. And can I keep it in that? Felicia, you have beautiful skin.
Oh, thank you.
All right, make it a date with us on Thursday. Until we'll come your way, please keep being real. And bye now.
Bye. Thank you.